Hey, it's Melissa here from Sincerely Creative Mom. Today we're going to work on a super cute candle ring. This is an 8-inch candle ring from my friend Carrie over at woodcandlebase.com. This is very convenient because a couple of reasons. Number one, you can set your candle on top here and you don't have to worry about the bottom of your candle, that wax, making a mark on your table wherever you set it. That's number one. Number two, you don't have to worry about just having that ring and placing it kind of perfectly on top of your pedestal so that it doesn't like fall through. So you can just set this right on top of your pedestal and set your candle on top. It's going to be perfect. This wood, again, it's an 8-inch. It has 8 little brackets here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to just put a pipe cleaner right around that. Nice and easy. Just like so. Now, they are long. They're just a regular size pipe cleaner. I didn't cut them just for the sake of, just for the sake. But that you're not going to need them to be this long. We're going to end up cutting off the excess. Okay, so we're going to use our 5.5-inch mesh. Actually came from Hobby Lobby. You can order that online if you're not close to them. We cut these 22 inches long. I just used my rotary cutter on top of the self-healing mat. It's 22 inches long. And what I'm going to do is just kind of fold it inside each other, just kind of twice. And then ruffle up the center all the way. Ruffle, 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 ruffle. And then fold the other end in. And that's just so that that cut edge kind of stays concealed and hidden. We don't want that to be, fraying all over the place. Okay, so there's going to be a pattern here. We're going to call this a little butterfly. We're going to take our butterfly wings, and here we did up and down. The next one we're going to go side to side. We're going to keep that pattern going, and that's just so that all the little pieces kind of fill in. So we don't have any of this excess wood showing on the outside. In the inside, you're going to see that, and that's totally fine because it'll be covered by your candle. But we want to kind of cover up that outside. So again, 22 inches on the mesh. Just do your best to stay in the center so that that ruffle kind of looks nice and neat, and fold in the other end. Scrunch it up. So we were side to side. Now we're going to go kind of in and out. Put it right down in there nice and tight. Crisscross that pipe cleaner. Next one's going to go side to side. Now I've already have our ribbon pre-cut. This is a very simple project. I already have a ribbon pre-cut. It is the 1.5-inch ribbon here is a wired ribbon, and the rest is not wired. So I had this kind of like the base, the foundation wired so that we can kind of maneuver it and shape our little flowers. Well, not flowers. Our bows that we're putting in. And that would kind of hold up all the other ribbon. So the 1.5-inch came from our friends over at CoachMelSupplies.com. And the smaller ribbons came from various places. The pink and the yellow came from the Dollar Tree. The white lace came from the Hobby Lobby. And the little pearls came from a very local place where I buy stuff here in Michigan called Discount Dealers and Crafts. Unfortunately, they don't sell online, but I'm sure you can find those little pearls anywhere. So I'm going to just keep going while I'm talking here. We're going to finish this off with a little vase filler. It's like a little foam ball, glittery, that will go over the pipe cleaner. And that's these here. That came from the Dollar Tree. Again, I'm keeping up this pattern here with side to side and in and out, side to side and in and out. Move that because we're getting stuck a little bit. And then we have a little bit of greenery. Now the greenery that I used in the very first one that you see here on the table, it's my favorite greenery. However, I was out, so I had to compromise and use something very, very similar, but we're only using such a small, tiny bit that it'll be totally okay. The only thing is that because it is different, I can't list this on Etsy as a multiple because it's not the same. So if it was the same, I could list two, but because it's not the same, I'll have to list separate. But I always try very hard to make two of these when I make them. Number one, they look better in, well, they actually look better when they're on the table in threes, but they sell easier when they're in twos. There we go, putting that last one in. Now we're going to make one of those bows I keep talking about together, and as you can see over here in the top right corner, I'll have the rest of them kind of pre-made. So we'll do one together and add it in, and then we'll just pop in the rest and finish it off together. Okay, so here are those ribbons I was talking about. I'm going to do a nice little X here, taking our pink and then our yellow. The nice thing about these is you can add as much ribbon as you want. This I think would be like maybe about the minimum I would add, just because you want that kind of, you know, variety. You want that flowy. You want it to look really cool and full, really. So I'm just going to scrunch up that center here as best as I can. So I have a nice little pinch. And then I'm going to come into our pipe cleaner, put it right down in. Now it's going to be messy for a minute, and that's okay. Crisscross. Now I'm going to twist this till there's about an inch. And then we're going to come back through and cut all of those off. So let's add the rest of these. Again, I did the exact same thing, the exact same pattern. I just pre-did them so that this would go just a little bit quicker. Now, you want to make sure, just because still it's a little easier on the eye, if you're putting that pink up toward the, you know, on the left side and down on the right side, you want to make sure that you're keeping that pattern all the way around so that it's just easy to look at. It doesn't look like something's missing. If you put it, you know, opposite and something, it looks a little different, it could very much look like, oh, it's missing something on this one. So I keep the same pattern every time. And also when you're making them for yourself, I did this for the videos so that you can go a little quicker, but when you're making them for yourself, making all these bows all at once and then popping them in here like this, totally easier, much faster. Make sure that that little pearly stays on the end. Also, in the first one, the pearls are actually white. In this one, the pearls are an iridescent. Again, because I ran out. So another reason why I would not be able to list this as a multiple, but it'll be very close. Again, I'm just kind of setting those in there, and we'll go back and play with them in just a minute. Now the prep for this, obviously you're not getting a good feel for that since we did it ahead of time. It does take a little time to cut all the ribbons. These are all 7 inches, by the way. 7 inches on the ribbon. So the wired ribbon will stay in place and the non-wired ribbon will just kind of flop around and do its thing, and that's totally fine. That's what we want. Super, super cute here. Now this mesh, the size mesh, comes in different colors, so you could add different colors. I like leaving that natural burlap color because it really enhances those ribbons. It really shows off the ribbons so you can see them clearly. They're not blending in anywhere. Okay, so we're going to take that, see we have that about an inch or so left of that pipe cleaner, and we're just going to clip those off, and then we'll go through and hide them. Perfect. All right, so let me get you in a little bit closer so you can really see. All right, see this little spot here? It's long, so it's about an inch, but obviously doesn't belong there. We want to hide that so much. So I'm just going to take it, I'm going to lift this piece under, and I'm going to tuck it underneath there. I'm going to really tuck it underneath there though, so that you cannot see it. And then you still can see the pipe cleaner a little bit. That's what those little vase fillers are going to be for. And we're going to do that all the way around. Hide that underneath. Kind of just fluff those out. Make them look nice and cute. Make sure that pearl and that lace are right up front and center. Now you could be a little more gentle with this when you put it in, but I was just worried about getting them in and then play with it after. See how nice and fluffed out that looks? Really, really cute. And I have my little finishing glue gun here. All the links to all the places we received, bought, found, all that stuff will all be in the description. So don't worry about missing out on where I said something came from. It'll all be in the description for you to see. If you're watching us on Facebook, the description will be on YouTube. So if you're not following us on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed. Last one in here. I try to come back to the comments and answer questions if you have those. If not, you are always free to send me a text and be on my text message list. That number is 810-498-2310. All right. Nice and fluffed out, super duper cute already. You could leave it, but I really do like to hide those pipe cleaners for sure. So we're going to go with, I'm going to use that. We're going to go with pink here. Actually, we're going to go with purple. I can see more of the purple quicker. No particular reason, just... The vase fillers came from the Dollar Tree. So far, the wood base came from woodcandlebase.com. The mesh came from Hobby Lobby. I'm just going to take these in one little tiny, well, not too tiny. You want a nice glob, and put it right on top of that pipe cleaner. The ribbons came from various places. The 1.5 inch came from, well, the 1.5 inch is wired. All the description, I'll just say that again. All the places will be in the description. It's just easier that way. So we have the candle base, we added the pipe cleaners, we added the mesh, we added our little messy bows. We're adding a little vase filler right around here. These are truly darling. Now, I've had success selling them so far in all the seasons. Actually, St. Patrick's Day really hasn't sold, but Valentine's Day, Christmas, fall, Halloween. And then lastly, last but certainly not least, we're going to add a little bit of greenery. You guys, I'll also list, because I know so many of you always ask, I'll also list the link for our glue gun here. Okay, this is from a stem that looks like this from Hobby Lobby. It's My second favorite, it's not my first favorite. My first favorite is this from Hobby Lobby, or the other one. As you can see, this one. It's just a little different. But this is from Hobby Lobby. And all I did was I cut the stem off, and these are pushable, they move. So I just slid them off, and we're going to use those just like that, because all we need is something really little. And I didn't use the berries on the top because I didn't want to use too many stems, right? And I wanted to be kind of frugal in that manner. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this up like this and add a little bit of glue, a nice generous amount of glue here. And then I'm going to lift up those ribbons and put that right where the ribbons kind of meet the mesh. So a little bit of greenery in there, just going to kind of peek through. And I'm going to put them on the same side as we go around, and then if we want to later or when we're done, we can add more. But with these, you know, not usually do I say less is more, but with these, less is usually more. Now, if you wanted to, you could add that greenery in before you added your vase filler. Now this one over on the other, I'm sorry, you can't even see it, but the other one was, the stems were a little bit longer. So they kind of poked out of the whole ensemble here a little bit more than this one is, but it's just going to be fine. It's darling. This tip gets pretty hot, even though it's cordless. It's still a high temp piece. Super cute. I like this too because, you know, this one can come down and this one can kind of go up. So you get that greenery feel, you know, in all the places with it just being one piece. So I like that. It's super cute. Also, if you're just a crafter, which is totally fine, I don't want to say just a crafter, but if you're a crafter and you're going someplace for Easter, this is a cute gift, a cute hostess gift. And it's handmade. And they're going to be like, oh, it's so cute, can you make me another one? One last piece, and then we'll leave it just like that. It'll be super cute. Now again, that wood candle base in the center, you know, it's very nice to have that security so that you know your wax candle isn't going to sit on your nice wood table or whatever kind of table you have, so you don't have to worry about that ruining. Look at how cute. That is adorable. That's super cute. Real simple. So then again, you just take your candle. Now this center, remember, it's not a wreath, okay? So the center doesn't need to have fluff in it. I'm going to pull this out, and we use that 5.5 inch mesh on purpose so that it doesn't really, I'll put it on its side so you can see, but it doesn't hide your candle like too much. It's just perfect when it sits down in there. Here, I'll widen this out here a little bit. And it's just perfect when it sits down in there. Look at that. So you can see your candle the most. It's not completely hidden. If you were using mesh that was a little larger, you know, it would come up and hide half of that half of that candle, which is not what we're going for. We just wanted it to be super duper cute, and it is darling. Y'all, thank you very, very much for watching. I hope that you were inspired and you enjoyed and you learned something. Don't forget to be following us and subscribe to our page and all those things so that you can watch our videos in the future. Again, my name is Melissa from Sincerely Creative Mom. We appreciate you consuming our content, and I hope to see you again soon.